Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you will not miss a future video.
Welcome to the channel, The Tech Piano Player Kid.
A black background with white text that reads The Tech Piano Player Kid displays on the screen with the same text written to the right in Braille. Warning, in TimeCrest 2, it gets more intense. Please note that it does get more intense, and there are some scenes that are a little bit uneasy. You have been warned. What is up, everyone? The Tech Piano Player Kid here, and as you can tell, we hear the TimeCrest music. So, in last the video, we did chapter 4 and 5 because they were fairly short chapters. Well, chapter 5 was pretty short. One of them was. So today we're going to go in chapter 2 of TimeCrest. Correction, I meant to say chapter 6 of TimeCrest 2, but I misspoke. Anyway, let's keep going. So what happened was...
Descriptive hail button.
Let me turn my noticer on here.
Control center. Volume. Right. Focus. Button. Action. Selected. Focus.
There we go.
Do not disturb. 23 hours. Time. App switcher. Time on. 23 hours.
So what happened was...
Skip timer.
Ash was on the top of Mount Ashra, or however you say it. And... Let me turn my volume down for my headphones. Okay. Sorry, I had to turn my headphones thing down here because it was a little bit loud. So what happened was Ash was on top of Mount Ashra and was trying to crawl towards the Chrono Gem. Well, as we know, that Ash didn't make it. Ash didn't make it. Ash was really close to it, basically, and Chronos teleported in front of Ash, saved Ash, and now, basically, we get this red message from this strange person, whoever this is, and now we're basically going into chapter 2, and let's do this.
Skip timer for one skip crystal. You cannot use master.
So I have to click
skip
this
timer for one skip crystal.
It's 23 hours.
Responded. What did Chrono? He said. System message. Connection lost. Speak volume. Speak 60%. Words.
So we have this.
He said. Ellipsis. Join me. Ash TimeCrest.
So that's the last thing that we heard.
System message. Connection lost. Play TimeCrest 2. The door 1 of 1 responses.
And here we go into
button.
TimeCrest 2.
Play TimeCrest 2. The door. 29 seconds. Use master of time.
I'm going to skip this because I don't want to wait 29 seconds.
Messages. He. Descriptive. A crack in the distance. He. Ellipsis. I exist now. System message. Received the following message written in handwritten red text. He. Ellipsis. I exist now awakened by the light. A crack in the distance. You're there, aren't you?
I think so. I'm sitting here in front of my microphone at my computer holding an iPhone. I don't know.
I've been waiting for you. Have you been waiting for me?
No.
There are no accidents, no chance meetings. When the door is open, I'll have everything I want. Ellipsis. I want you.
Creepy.
System message. Connection lost. 1 minute 30. Use master of time to skip.
And we'll click that.
Memory. The broken shards of Riley's amulet suddenly glow, showing a fading power. A remnant of a memory it has collected has been released. Okay. Button. Messages. Chapter 6.
So now we're in chapter 6.
Bless dragons and muffies and everything great. The palish blue light has returned to my pocket watch. Are you there?
I think so.
System message. Ash is waiting. Yes, I'm here. 1 of 2 responses.
So you can say, yes, I'm here, or
Ash, is that you? 2 of 2
Ash,
responses.
is that you?
Button.
Now, obviously, we know it's Ash, but let's say, Ash, is that you? Because, we want to kind of play it as though, like, are you sure this is Ash? Is this really you? Like,
Ash, is that you? Responded. Of course it's me. Who else could it be? Did you expect someone else? And whoa, ellipsis. Say something else, please. System message. Something else, please. 1 of 2 responses. Something else, please. 1 of 2 responses.
Well, Ash
Messages.
did say something else, please. And so I would say something else, please. I mean, Ash did say that.
Responded. Something else, please. It happened again. I can sense your response in my head. The glyphs that are appearing on my pocket watch are just going straight to my head. Wow, ellipsis. It's really hard to describe what's happening, but it's almost like I can hear you. I have no idea what triggered this effect, but it's far easier for me to communicate with you. System message, Ash is waiting. I sound pretty sweet. Hug, 2 of 2 responses. Button.
I skipped over the first one because the first one's a little bit weird. So, yeah.
I sound pretty sweet. Hug, 2 of 2 responses. Messages. Heading. Responded, you sound really good to me. Speaking to you again, ellipsis. Ellipsis, you have no idea how happy I am right now. Since we last spoke, the face of my pocket watch has been completely blank. No matter how much I talked to it, nothing. I shouted at it. I shook it. I threw it on the ground. Nothing happened. I thought that maybe my Nexus toss binding spell were off. I tried everything to restore the spell. I spent a day in the apple courtyard picking and prodding at the fruit, looking to replicate the spell as I did once before. But no familiar feelings of connection came as I touched each one. I tried to enter a trance, like Ezra showed me once. No palish blue light. Your reassuring words did not appear. Hours became days, days became weeks, ellipsis. As I laid in bed, dread filled my stomach as I imagined a life without speaking to you again. I picked up my food and left it to waste. Me, not eating food, can you imagine?
No. By the words you're telling me, like how you eat, no, I could not imagine that.
I must have stayed awake for days, before I finally dozed off just now. I guess I was that tired. I had a vivid dream, ellipsis. But it faded quickly after I woke, and I can't remember it at all. But then, I was shocked to see, ellipsis. The palish, circling, beautiful blue light was back. You were back. How are you? System mess, I'm good. But what happened? You left me on a cliffhanger, ellipsis, 1 of 2 response. I received a strange message. Was that you? 2 of 2 responses, button.
I don't think that would be Ash, but let's just say that just because.
I received a strange message. Was that you? Responded, wait, ellipsis, someone else tried to contact you? I thought that I was the only one who could talk to you.
Apparently not.
Did they say who they were?
No.
What did they want?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess there's a chance another Elysian mage could have reached out to you. If it could happen to me, it could happen for another mage, ellipsis. Ellipsis, but isn't there a saying, that up, something or, ellipsis, whatever, that magic isn't supposed to strike twice in the same place?
Lightning? Maybe?
System, you mean lightning, 1 of 2 responses. But are you jealous? 2 of 2 responses, button. You mean lightning, 1 of 2 you mean lightning, 1 of 2 responses. Respond, right. Yeah, ellipsis, it didn't make sense the way I said it. Magic can most definitely hit the same place twice.
I guess. I don't know.
So who is it? What did they want?
How am I supposed to know?
What did the message say? System message, when the door is open, I'll have everything I want, ellipsis, and I want you, 1 of 1 responses, button. When the door is open, I'll have everything I want, ellipsis, and I want you, message, responded, wow, ellipsis, that's creepy.
Why did the music just stop? Why? I don't like this.
A door? What is this person talking about?
I don't know. I don't know.
And to say that to someone they don't even know, ellipsis. Though, to be fair, I might have seemed creepy to you when I first connected with you.
Not really.
But I'm glad you decided to help me out.
Okay. Thank you for continuing the music.
Whoever this person is, maybe they're in some kind of a similar, desperate situation. System message, Ash's wait. No, this message was ominous. 1 of 2 responses. But, yes, maybe they need help too. 2 of 2 responses.
I don't think they need
button.
help.
No, this message was ominous. 1 of 2
What does
responses.
ominous
button.
mean? I need to look up what that means. Ominous. Because I thought that meant anonymous, but it's not anonymous. It's ominous. I don't know what that even means. Like, different, maybe? Let me check real quick. Guys, mute your Amazon devices just in case, but I'll try to cut this out. Alexa, what does ominous mean? Okay, so apparently it's like foreboding, threatening, like a harmful way. So I guess they're saying it in a threatening way, I guess.
Yeah, no, this message was ominous. 1 of 2 responses.
So I would say
button.
that, but I don't
No,
know.
this message was ominous. 1 of 2 responses. Messages. Heading. Respond. I believe you. Unfortunately, we don't have much to go on right now. I want you to let me know if they try to contact you again. I promise that I'll get to the bottom of it. Ash never breaks a promise. System message. Ash is waiting. Thanks. Ellipsis. 1 of 2 responses. I'm just glad you're okay. Don't you want to talk about what happened? 2 of 2 responses. Button.
So, I'm glad Ash is okay. I think that's the most important thing.
I'm just glad you're okay. Don't you want to talk about what happened? Messages. Heading. Responded. And I haven't even had a nice, long chat about the human world with you yet.
I knew that would happen. I totally knew that would happen.
Life has thrown us many trials and tribulations, but now that we're talking again, I'm convinced we can achieve anything. Oh wait, ellipsis, trials, ellipsis. The trials, the mandatory guild trials. How could I have forgotten? Question mark. I was so focused on reconnecting with you that I forgot everything else important. What day is it? Ellipsis.
Over here it's Saturday.
Today is the last day to register. Okay, let me back up for a moment.
During the recording of this video.
Every Elysian guild evaluates their recruits with yearly trials. Several trials are held each year. Ellipsis. Ellipsis, but I've been busy chasing meteors. Ellipsis. Ellipsis, and I've been so distracted ever since I lost my connection to you. This is the last trial of this year, my last chance, so I have to participate. Why didn't I catch one of the earlier trials? Question mark. Anyway, I'm sure you want me to tell you. Ellipsis. Ellipsis, do you want the good news or the bad news? System message. I'll take the good news. 1 of 2. Hit me with the bad news. 2 of 2 responses. Button. I'll take the good news. 1 of 2 responses.
I guess I'll take
Button.
this
I'll
one.
take the
I
good
don't
news.
know.
Respond. If I perform well in the trials, I could get promoted to rank bronze. As a bronze rank mage, I'll get more guild pay, and I can represent TimeCrest in official guild missions. Elysian citizens put in requests with the guild, and the guild assigns them out as official missions to mages whose level and spells are compatible with the perceived needs and danger level of the request. The guild takes a percentage of the reward gold, and the mages completing the request keep the rest. Sometimes, missions offer cool rewards if the requester is trying to attract more mages to attempt their mission. But the bad news is, all of it will slip away if I don't pass the trials. If I perform badly enough, I might even get expelled, since I'm only ranked copper.
Oof.
System message. Ash is waiting. I don't care about the trials. I want to know what happened on Mount Ashra. 1 of 3 responses. What's below copper? 2 of 3 responses. Dim.
Well,
Button.
we already know that nothing's below copper.
How do the trials work? 3 of 3 responses.
So
Button.
let's actually ask how the trials work.
How do the trials work? Messages. Heading. Respond. I'm actually not sure. Shows you how prepared I am. All I know is that the guild masters are the judges.
That's kind of scary in a way.
They decide which mages rank up, which mages are demoted, and who is expelled from the guild.
Oof.
Let's hope that I don't end up in the latter group. There are 6 ranks: copper, bronze, silver, gold, submaster, and master.
So if I do the math correctly, if each rank is 10 gold more, that would mean it's yeah. I guess they'll get 100 gold? I think? If at master or something like that?
Masters are associated with one of the magical elements, and the title of master is granted to only one person for each element at any given time. I've always dreamed of becoming a master, ever since Ignis became the master of fire. His passion for magic burned deep, and he believed that magic was the key to making Elysia a better place. His passion for magic burned deep, and he believed that magic was the key to making Elysia a better place. I'm truly sad that he disappeared, since he inspired me to fight for my dreams. I share the same beliefs as Ignis. Magic will make my world a better place. System message. When are the trials? 1 of 2 response. Why are you avoiding the sub? When are the trials? 1 of 2 response. When are the trials? 1 of 2 response. Responded. When are the trials? They start tomorrow. So today is literally the last day left to complete my registration.
Oof.
I need to head over to the TimeCrest administration chamber soon to get that done. System message. Ash is wait. Stop. Can you just tell me what happened? Ash TimeCrest. 1 of 2 responses. Look, seriously. Why are you avoiding telling me what happened on Mount Ashra? I was worried you might be dead. 2 of 2 responses. Button.
So, either way,
Stop. Can you just tell me what happened? Ash TimeCrest. 1 of 2 responses.
that one
Dim.
sounds a little
Button.
bit like, both of them sound a little bit like stern, but at the same time, the second one is more like has like a little bit like it sounds stern, but then also has like a concern in it. If that makes sense.
Look, seriously. Why are you avoiding telling me what happened on Mount Ashra? I was worried you might be dead. 2 of 2 responses. Look, seriously.
So I'll
Why
do
are you
that one.
avoiding? Respond. I'm not avoiding the subject. Ellipsis. Ellipsis.
Or are you?
Okay, I am.
I knew it. I don't even know what kind of laugh that was. Okay. Okay. Um. um. Okay. Okay.
System message. Ash's wait. Why? 1 of 1 responses. Dimmed. Why? Dimmed. Messages. Heading. Image. Responded. At the top of Mount Ashra, he held out his hand to me and said, "Join me, Ash TimeCrest." Confusion doesn't begin to describe how I felt. Unsure what to do, I put my hand in his. In the second that I hesitated, the chrono gem flew towards Chronos. As he grasped it, a magical energy was released, forming into a man with a grand, flowing cloak that seemed somehow familiar to me. Chronos' fingers clasped my hand and the world faded away. The fiery red sky was replaced by the blindingly white Irelium walls of ion. The glimmering white floor was stained by pooling drops of red. I was still bleeding. Chronos raised his hand and with a wave, bone, blood and tissue were sealed, as if they had never been broken. I heard a voice say, "Luther, there has to be another way." There I saw Guildmaster Patora, looking concerned. Chronos said, "No, there isn't." As he raised his arm, lips rapidly spun around his hand. A blinding light appeared in the sky. I shielded my eyes. After I opened them again, it took my brain a moment to realize what was different. There were no more meteors. Patora said, "There's no need for you to prove anything to me. I have sworn to follow you with my life. But you know he will retaliate." Chronos said, "That is no longer our biggest concern. We must move forward."
Who will retaliate? Who? They talk about Ezra or someone else?
I hadn't processed any of this yet. His words continued to echo in my mind. "Join me, Ash TimeCrest." Then, like an explosion, many questions flooded into my mind. With a wave of his hand, did Chronos just do what the top guilds were unable to do? Did he really just make all the meteors just disappear? How were the meteors unfrozen in the first place? Was that Chronos doing too? And is the hero of Valencia, Master of Time, leader of the TimeCrest Guild, Ellipsis, really my brother? Chronos looked at me. He said, "I know all of this must be overwhelming for you, Ash, but I meant what I said. I want you to join me, join my cause." Chronos said, "You are my blood, and I want you by my side the day human descendants don't have to hide anymore."
So it sounds like he. I don't know. He's complicated.
Chronos helped me to my feet and led me through Ion. He said, "Do you want that, Ash? A world where you, I, and everyone like us can be free?" I moved my mouth, but no words came, so I nodded. He smiled. I was still following him down the hallway when we came to a room with a large, open door. The large domed room had webs of glowing red veins coming in from every direction and spiraling toward the center. Where they converged was a jagged pillar of Irelium that connected the floor to the ceiling. The tubes of red converged on a single figure, chained to the pillar, unmoving. I gasped. It was Riley. I ran into the room and tugged at the chains. My voice cracked as I yelled her name. She was unconscious. There was a grimace on her face. I demanded that Chronos free her. Chronos said, "It's not what you think, Ash. Riley is doing this of her own free will." I didn't believe him. I realized I was yelling at him. Then, like a flashback, I remembered what happened. Ellipsis. Bodies everywhere. An entire army, thrown into the sky. The smile on his face, his delight at the bloodshed. Ellipsis. I found myself backing away from him.
I can't blame you for that.
My anger faded when I heard her voice. She said, "Ash, Ellipsis, what are you doing here?" As Riley opened her eyes, the chains surrounding her retracted into the pillar. When she saw the confusion in my face, hers became one of concern. I quickly asked her what was going on, what was happening to her. The veins of the pillar continued to glow bright red and it pulsed with a beat. She said, "It's complicated, Ash." She glanced at Chronos. Chronos said, "Thank you, Riley. The blood you just gave will keep Ion operational for at least a few more months. Rest now." System message, Ash's way. Seems like Riley wants to help Chronos. 1 of 2 responses. Dimmed. Button. Did he say blood? 2 of 2 responses. Button.
Well, we know that.
Seems like Riley wants to help Chronos. 1 of 2 responses.
I feel like she does,
Dimmed.
but
Button.
I don't know if she's been manipulated or actually she wants to help.
Seems like Riley wants to help.
I don't know.
Responded. Seems, maybe. Maybe she's being manipulated to help him. Chronos, once again, offered me his hand. But I shook my head. Chronos said, Ash, I'm not hiding anything from you. You can see for yourself that Riley is acting of her own free will.
Are you sure you're not hiding anything?
Chronos said, Come, I will take you to your room, here on Ion. I shook my head again. I told him that, ellipsis, I didn't know if I could join him. I told him that I don't know who he is. Being my brother doesn't automatically grant instant trust. I looked at Riley and she looked away. I said that it was unclear to me if joining him would mean using others. I told Chronos that I wanted to return to TimeCrest to think about things. He said, Fine, I won't keep you against your will, Ash. Taking a deep breath, I took Riley's hand. I asked her to come with me. But she pulled her hand away, ellipsis. After that, Guildmaster Patora escorted me off of Ion. As we walked, she said it would be best if I kept out of my brother's affairs, and that I shouldn't tell others about my relationship to him. Guildmaster Patora said, even good men have enemies. Enemies, ellipsis. Chronos wasn't at Mount Ashra just for me. He was also there for the Chrono Gem. And the man that was released when Chronos took the gem, ellipsis. I asked Patora if that man is Chronos' enemy. She said, so you saw him. I told Guildmaster Patora that I barely saw him. I barely had a glimpse of him before Chronos teleported me away. But it finally hit me, who it was. It was Ezra, the dragon rider that I encountered while exploring Alencia's past. Guildmaster Patora said, interesting, so you have met First Mage Ezra before. My eyes widened. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. First Mage.
Yup.
As in, the very first mage of Alencia. The man who introduced Alencia to magic. Before him, there was no magic. He demonstrated that in all life and all things, there is aura. Ezra taught Alencians that by harnessing the connection to our aura and aura of objects we can turn it into the power. I never thought that the person I met in the past would turn out to be the first mage. As we arrived on Aeon's open platform, Patora said, you would do well to stay away from Ezra. Never trust him. He'll only use you to get to Luther. She said, then he will kill you.
Why? What? Here's my question. Why does Ezra want to get to Luther? Like, what caused the fight between them? Like, what was the like, why?
I asked why I should believe her, as she was clearly one of my brother's cronies. She did try to fight me multiple times. Patora frowned. She said, you clearly lack your brother's skills of deduction. Patora said, if you had them, you'd be able to reason that I wasn't trying to hurt you. Why do you think you were able to elude me and Fulgur all of those times? Guildmaster Fulgur? I asked her if he was the short and bulky hooded man that kept chasing me around. For a while I thought it was Chronos, but the physique didn't match, ellipsis. A crude laughter sounded near Patora. Guildmaster Fulgur had phased and dressed in the hooded man's garb. A crude laughter sounded near Patora. Guildmaster Fulgur had phased and dressed in the hooded man's garb. He said, we once had a mage in here, who relied on endless illusions for her means, and yet was utterly confused when she couldn't convince a young mage of her honesty. No, I just made that up. No, I didn't. Or maybe I did. That just would be so silly if it were real. And, Patora?
Okay, now he's being okay, he's just being confusing now.
Patora scowled at him. She said, why you ever felt the need to wear that silly disguise confounds me. You're a guild master. No one would suspect you speaking to Ash. Does everything need to be a joke with you? Fulgur's eyes widened. He said, joke? Ash was convinced the hooded man was Master Chronos and the great Master Chronos is no joke. I promise to not be embarrassed when you nominate me for Master of Illusions. Patora eyed Fulgur coldly. She said, if I give any praise to that farce you call a disguise, I would bring shame to all illusionists. I told Fulgur that it was only for a very short while that I thought he was Chronos, ellipsis. Patora said, another clear indication you are way in over your head, Ash, to be fooled for even a second. You should listen to your brother and take him up on his offer. I asked them if she was the hooded female, the one who said all those things about Riley. Patora paused for a bit. She said, yes. You see, I'm not trying to hide things from you right now, so if you will just listen to me. She said, Fulgur and I were trying to hurt you. We held back our powers because all we wanted was to bring you back to Ion and keep you safe until we were certain of your true identity.
Okay.
I asked Guildmaster Patora, again, why I should trust her. Just because she revealed that she was the hooded female doesn't mean she wasn't lying to me about other things. And just because she thinks Riley is destined to be alone doesn't mean Riley will be. Guildmaster Fulgur broke into such side-splitting laughter that he had to cover his mouth with his hand. He said, Guildmaster Fulgur broke into such side-splitting laughter that he had to cover his mouth with his hand. He said, so as the story goes, that mage, with all her powers of illusion, couldn't convince a child she called gullible, of anything. I'll also accept your nomination for Master of Fiction. Patora, I am generous.
Ash is not a child. Ash is a teenager. That's two different things. I mean, like, okay, but never mind.
Patora frowned. She said, I'm telling Ash the truth. There are no more illusions here. The Voldorian tattoo on Fulgur's hand. It had totally slipped my mind until I saw it again in that moment. I realized that Riley had the same tattoo, the mark of a Voldorian. But since Riley was supposed to be the last Voldorian, I remembered freaking out when I saw it on the hand of the hooded man. I asked Fulgur if he was a Voldorian. Fulgur stopped laughing. He looked at his hand and opened his eyes in surprise. He said, oh this. I forgot it was here. It's not my tattoo.
Then why is it there?
I asked him what that was supposed to mean.
That's what I want to know.
Fulgur broke out in a fit of laughter again. Ellipsis.
Okay, Fulgur is just confusing.
Patora said, Ash, just stay away from Ezra. At all costs. The man who summoned the meteors with the potential to kill every man, woman, and child on Alincia, just to get at Luther, won't blink an eye at taking your life.
Bro.
First Mage Ezra summoned the meteors. Patora said, yes, Ezra is ruthless. During his fight with Luther, he summoned the meteors. Luther put a stop to him on Mount Ashra and saved all of us. Before I could press further, I felt my body phasing, and was teleported back to my room in TimeCrest. That's when I began trying to contact you again, but the pocket watch was dead. You know the rest from there. I'm so happy that the connection with you has been re-established. It's good to have someone I can talk to that I trust. System message, Ash is waiting. Where should we start? 1 of 2 responses. Tell me more about this Ezra. 2 of 2 responses. Dimmed. Button.
Okay, I want to know more about this Ezra, actually.
Tell me more about this Ezra. Dimmed. Responded. The only other thing I know is that magic has been around for hundreds of years. But the first mage I met was young. If he really was the one and only first mage, he must be able to live forever or something. To think, I was trained by the first mage, ellipsis. It does seem like something happened between Ezra and Chronos on top of Mount Ashra. But did Ezra really summon the meteors just so he could kill Chronos? I don't know what to think anymore. I haven't spoken to Chronos or Riley since I left Ion. And the more I think about things, the more questions get raised in my mind.
I can't blame you on that.
I've been avoiding the gardens. I just don't know what to say to Riley after she refused to leave with me. I think Chronos is using her. The only silver lining to all of this, ellipsis, is that nighttime has returned. The eternal days have ended and stars have come back to Alincia. As I walk through the TimeCrest grounds, night after night, I see many mages just lie in the grass, looking up at the sky. I realize now that I haven't taken my own chance to admire it. I was too focused on re-establishing contact with you. Before a huge crowd, Chronos gave a speech announcing that he destroyed all of the meteors. Alincians were elated that impending doom no longer lingers, frozen, over their very heads. They didn't ask him many questions. It really goes to show that Chronos has everyone under his spell. System message, Ash is waiting. Do not 11:22 a.m. They didn't ask. System message. You should find and talk to Chronos. 1 of 2 responses. You should find and talk to Riley. 2 of 2 response. You should find and talk to Chronos.
I would find and talk to Chronos, but I don't know.
You should find and respond. I don't know what to talk to him about. I'm certainly not ready to accept his offer. We saw him killing so many people in Volder, ellipsis. I saw him taking Riley's blood. All for reasons I don't understand. But, ellipsis, if you insist, then I'll do as you say. But first things first. I must register for the trials today. Let's head to the TimeCrest administration chamber.
Whoa, hi!
Should I use a teleport or... System message, Ash is waiting. Teleport to the administration chambers. Required, 1 walk, 2 of 2 responses, button.
Let's walk.
Walk, 2 of
'cause
respond, got it. Walking is good exercise. System message, 19 minutes, use master of time to skip busy. Use master of time to skip busy. Got it. System I'm here. Let's see, ellipsis. Darn, ellipsis. There is a sign outside saying the administrators are taking a short break. 11, 800, 100 messages. Responded. Got it. Walking is good. Top menu back. Top chapter 6.
Okay, yeah, we're in chapter 6.
Well, I'm going to plop myself down. In the meantime, ellipsis. Which of these sound the most appealing to you? Ellipsis. A griffin egg. Sunny side up. Ellipsis. A dragonberry elixir. Ellipsis. Or a laughing pumpkin pie. System message. Ash is waiting. Why are you asking? 1 of 2 response. Describe each food to me. 2 of 2 responses.
Let's have Ash
Button.
describe each one.
Describe each food. Respond gladly. The griffin egg almost needs no introduction, but you're getting one, since I love talking about it. Griffin eggs are special because their egg whites are sturdier than those of other eggs.
Okay.
The whites are incredibly nutritious, yet utterly delicious. Not to mention, griffin egg yolks burst with complex, savory flavors. I like to put an entire egg inside my mouth and savor it as it oozes onto my tongue. MMMHMMM, ellipsis. I'm hungry, ellipsis. Now dragonberries got their name because dragons used to like eating these fruits more than they liked eating livestock. And believe me, turning a dragon vegetarian is a huge accomplishment for these berries. The drinks made from dragonberries are sweet, but not too sweet, sour, but not too sour, and euphoria is guaranteed.
So, kind of a mixture of sour and sweet, basically?
The drink has become more common now that dragons are pretty much extinct. Last but not least is the laughing pumpkin pie. People who eat the laughing pumpkin pie can't help but feeling happy for a whole day. The downside is the laughing pumpkin is an extremely bitter ingredient. It's an acquired taste, ellipsis, which is why some people can't stomach it even for the good feelings it brings. So which one do you choose?
I'm kind of curious what the laughing pumpkin pie is, like what it does. Because I know the dragonberry elixir, or whatever you call it, halves time. The griffin egg, what is it? Gives Ash a bit more aura. But what can the laughing pumpkin pie do? I don't know.
System mess. Griffin eggs, of course. 1 of 3 responses. Button. You had me at dragon. I choose the drink. 2
Let me-
of 3 responses.
Let me look.
Noted. Shop. Memory. Music player. Pocket
I
watch.
need to see what I
Red
have right
badge.
now, actually.
His inbox relation. Infinity. TimeCrest merchant. Morty. Close. But. Infinity pouch. A red badge. Skip. Time. Consumable. Aura potion. Dragonberry elixir. Key item. Owned. 5. Have. Legendary. Heading. Chrono wand. Key item. The breakfast. Items. AMP card. Broken Riley. Dispel ring. Ignis amulet. Riley's letter. Riley's lock. Spells. Nexuta. Level.
Where's the...
The breakfast. Chrono. Drag. Aura. Consume. Time. Skip. Crystal. Irelium. Gold. Key item. Currencies. TOD generator Magnus.
There it is.
Collect. Button. Alert. There was a teleport orb waiting in the TOD generator slot. Gained 1 teleport orb. Okay. Button. Time. Skip. Irelium.
There we go.
Key item. You had me at dragon. I choose the drink. 2 of 3 responses. Dimmed. Button.
Urgh. What is the laughing... Oh, wait. I think we'll find out it... I'm not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything.
Griffin eggs, of course. 1 of 3 responses.
Not
Griffin
gonna
eggs, of course.
say
1 of 3
anything.
responses. Messages. Head. Responded. Griffin eggs, of course. Okay. Ellipsis. Got it. I wonder how long I have to wait for the administrators to come back. Guess I couldn't blame them. Guess I couldn't blame them. Just realized it's lunchtime because my stomach is growling. Now that I reconnected with you, I have a lot of eating to catch up on. Oh, ellipsis. I see Riley. She's walking towards me. My own brother may have been responsible for the death of her entire family, ellipsis, and her people. But she still helps him. And then there's me. I am responsible for killing her father, King Janus. I never expected him to still be alive when I found him in the ruins of Boulder. He told me he wanted to die, ellipsis. And I tricked myself into believing that I was killing him so I could save the world from the meteors. But in reality, I didn't want to lose to Chronos. If Janus had a way to defeat him, I was willing to do anything. It was selfish pride, and his blood is on my hands. She's smiling at me. Her smile, ellipsis, still makes me feel warm. I've missed it. But she sure is right about things being complicated. What should I do? System mess. Just be natural and say hi. 1 of 3 act cool. 2. Tell her the truth about Janaz. 3 of 3 responses. Button.
That's what I would do. Tell the
Tell
truth.
her the truth about Janaz. 3 of 3 responses.
That's what I would do.
Responded. Yeah, I need to tell her. Ellipsis. That I killed her father. She said that I killed her father. She deserves to hear it from me. She said, Ash, I haven't seen you around the gardens lately. Ellipsis. Ever since. Ellipsis. I'm telling her that I lost my connection to you, so I was focused on re-establishing contact. She nodded. Riley said, praise the first. I'm so happy for you that it worked out. She said, if you don't mind, Ash, I have something urgent to tell you, ellipsis, in private. I'm asking her if it's about the letter she wrote me, where she told me to stay away from her, ellipsis. Riley lowered her gaze. She said, no, what I want to talk to you about has nothing to do with that letter. Oh, ellipsis. The administrators have finally returned. I'm telling Riley that I'll find her after I complete registration for the trials. Riley nodded and said, the trials start tomorrow, ellipsis. She said, I was happy I finally found you sitting outside the administration chambers, but I was surprised to find you here of all places. I was actually on my way to the apple courtyard. Wow, ellipsis. I'm asking Riley if she's been looking for me all around TimeCrest. She said, well, ellipsis, I realized you weren't coming to visit the gardens anymore, and when I went to your room and you weren't there, ellipsis. Riley was outside my room.
Okay.
Riley shook her head and glanced sideways. She said, Ash, will you come to the gardens after registration? Ellipsis. I'm telling her I will. Riley said, okay, I'll wait for you there. Please come. Riley said, okay, I'll wait for you there. Please come as soon as possible. I really need to talk to you. She's turning around to leave. I'm calling out to her. She turned back and is looking at me. Riley said, Ash. Ellipsis. I'm telling her I missed coming to see her in the gardens. I missed her smile. Riley is turning pink.
Ooh.
My stomach, ellipsis, just growled loudly again. Oh well, ellipsis, it's bad timing, but I can't help that I'm hungry. Riley is shaking her head and smiling at me. Riley said, actually, I have something for you. She's taking something out of her inventory pouch and handing it to me. Riley said, it's a griffin egg sandwich. Will you try it? A griffin egg sandwich? Of course I'll try it. Riley sure knows what I like. My stomach is growling again. I think it's an agreement. Riley laughed and said, I'm just learning. It's not perfect yet, so I want you to tell me what you think. She's pausing for a moment. Riley said, ellipsis, miss seeing you too. She quickly added, you need to register. I'll see you soon. Riley is quickly walking away. Why waste any time when there's food involved? I'm eating the sandwich.
Good point.
Ellipsis, this is actually not that bad. It could use a touch more salt and rosemary though. That would really make the taste come out. What should I tell her later about the sandwich?
Honest feedback.
System, give her your honest feedback. 1 of 2 responses. Give her your honest feedback. 1 of 2 responded. Yeah, I should be honest if Riley's trying to improve her food preparation skills. If not an expert, I would say I'm at least pretty good at cooking griffin eggs. Ellipsis. I think my brain shuts off when I start talking to Riley. Only now are the many questions I have for her popping into my head. System mess, like why she tossed you off Ion, 1 of 2 like what her relationship is with Chronos, 2 of 2 responses, button.
See, I guess my thing is that I don't think she intentionally pushed Ash off. Like, I think she was forced to. Hold on. Yeah? Sorry, guys. My dad came in for a minute.
Descriptive help. Like what her relationship is with Chronos.
So,
2 responses.
I don't
button.
know, because, like, there's a lot of things here that I have a lot of questions about, too.
Like why she tossed you off.
Let's just do that one, I
Like why
guess.
she tossed
I
you
don't
off, I
know.
Respond. A part of me wants to forget that happened. But a part of me wants to forget that happened. Her other actions make no sense. One day she's my enemy, the next day, she's so close. I don't understand. But you're right. We can ignore what she did. I don't even know if Riley remembers that. It happened in a different timeline, ellipsis. Not that I know how all this time travel stuff works. Maybe she does remember. Even so, I definitely want to know her side of the story. Gosh, this sure reminds me how much we've been through. I can't imagine what it would have been like going through all of that without someone I trusted fully. Thank you. System message, you owe me 1 now, 1 of 2 responses. I did what anyone would have, 2 of 2 responses, dimmed, button.
I guess that one? I don't
I did
know.
what anyone would have, 2 of 2 responded, I did. No, you're special.
Thanks? I guess?
Not a lot of people would have done what you did for me. You believed in me when you could have ignored my messages. I'm so happy I can talk to you again. I can't wait until these trials are over and I have some more free time. Anyways, I'm going in to register. Anyways, I'm going in to register. I'll report back soon. 24 minutes. Use Master of Time to skip. Use
Click
Master
that.
of Time to skip. Descriptive Pocket Watch. Button.
Whoa, hi.
Music player. Anyways, The mage is squirming to free himself from. Judging by the crest embroid, someone, ellipsis, is being dragged out of the head guildmaster's office, held by two. Someone, oh boy. Someone, oh boy.
There we go.
Ellipsis. Someone, ellipsis, is being dragged out of the head guildmaster's office, held by two gold-ranked mages. Judging by the crest embroidered on his cloak, the mage being dragged away is bronze-ranked. One, the mage. Judging by the
keep
crest
going
embroidered on
too
his
fast.
cloak, the mage being dragged away is bronze-ranked. One rank higher than me. The mage is squirming to free himself from the grasp of his captors. I'm just sitting in the waiting area while the administrators process my registration paperwork. Hang on, one of the golds is speaking. He said, Head Guild Master Crane has ordered your expulsion. Stop struggling, Merrick Stewart.
Wait. I thought Chronos would be in charge of that, but not... Okay.
Expulsion? This kid must have done something seriously wrong. Merrick said, I've done nothing wrong. The other mages gathered in the administration chambers have all turned their attention to the scene. The gold said, You don't deserve to be a mage. You shall surrender your cloak when we escort you to the entrance of TimeCrest. You are to never return. The gold's proud, condescending tone is really off-putting. Merrick said, I earned this cloak. You can't just take it away. The gold sneered at him. He said, We can and we will. You should be ashamed of who you are. You have violated Elysian Common Law 45, you sniveling human rat. Human, ellipsis. Merrick said, I may have human blood in me, but I have never harmed a soul. I wasn't responsible for Volder, nor any of the things we Elysians blame the humans for. I was just a baby when Volder was destroyed. Are you saying a baby could have been involved? The gold said, Stop making a scene. TimeCrest does not allow for human descendants to be part of its organization. Our savior, Master Chronos, enacted this rule himself. You're lucky to have even stepped foot in this guild. Of course, ellipsis. Chronos enacted this rule, ellipsis, just when I wanted things to make more sense in this world.
So here's my question. If Chronos enacted this rule or whatever, then why is Ash in there? How? What? I'm confused. Why?
The gold said, Besides, those with human blood can never be good mages. They just don't possess the innate talent for magic that Elysians have. You wouldn't have made it far anyway.
Dude! That's cruel.
I have to say something. Sister, stay quiet. You don't want them to suspect you. One of two
So
responses.
here's where it
Button.
gets a little bit interesting. Spoiler alert. If you choose this one, Merrick, when you meet Merrick later on, he will be interesting. But if you choose
Defend Merrick. This is totally unfair.
That
Two of two
one-
responses. Dimmed. Button.
he'll say something sort of nice, I guess.
Defend Merrick. This is totally unfair. Dimmed. Mess responded. I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. I'll talk to you soon. System 29 minutes 50. Use Master of Time to
Click that.
Use Master of Time. Responded. I'm going to give them a piece. I'll talk. Darn it. Ellipsis. So I called out for them to stop. The gold sneered at me. He said, What do you want, Copper? I asked them if we were
Dude. Just calling someone by like their ranking, that's a little bit too, that's a little bit too, what's the word? Serious? No, I don't know what the word
I
is.
asked them if we were really going to let the past haunt us in the present and future. If we do, we are nothing but slaves without minds of our own. Should we be responsible for the crimes of our parents? Or our parents? You don't. Should we be responsible for the crimes of our parents? Or our parents' parents? The answer is no. You don't have to be a legal scholar to know that the answer is also no, in Elysian law. Then why do we hold human descendants responsible for the alleged crimes of their predecessors? The gold narrowed his eyes at me. He said, What's your name? I told him. I'm not sure if I should have told him my name, but I wanted to. I'm not afraid of him. He said, Are you a human sympathizer, or are you a human descendant yourself? I told him I was a descendant of justice. The gold laughed at me. At that moment, Head Guildmaster Oliver Crane stepped out of his office. He looked at the scene. He said, Didn't I tell you to escort Merrick off our grounds? The golds immediately straightened. They said, Yes, sir. Head Guildmaster Crane said, Then why isn't it done yet? The gold stammered. He said, Why yes, read GHT away, sir.
I can just picture the ghost being like, yes, sir. And then it's like, why is that done? And like, yes, sir, right away. Like, like I feel like the gold like wants to like help out, but at the same time they're forced to like do what they're told. I don't know. That's just my theory, I guess, sword.
The head guild master swept the chambers with his glance, and the mages who were staring all immediately averted their gazes and went back to their own business. With it, the 2 golds left. I've never spoken to head guild master Crane before, but he walked past me. Before walking back into his office, he said, "You do well to stay out of it the next time."
I feel like he's just giving some advice. I think that's all it was. I don't think he was mad. I think he's just saying, next time it's better to stay out of it. You know, it's like I'm not telling you what to do, but it's better, like, I don't know.
That sucked. I couldn't do anything to help Merrick. I mean, all because he has human blood. And to think, Chronos was the one to enact a rule that disallows people with the same heritage to be a part of this guild. It helps reduce suspicions on himself. But it's such a slimy, hypocritical move. I'm still angry at him. Anyways, ellipsis, then I got called over by the administrators. The administrators have gone through my paperwork. I've got more bad news. System message, Ash is waiting. You're like a news station with all your bad news. 1 of 2 responses. Button. Did something go wrong with registration? 2 of 2 responses. Dimmed. Button. You're like a news station with all your bad news. 1 of 2 responses.
Okay. 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 That's not like mean. I think it's like a joking matter. But if you choose this, Ash should be like, news station? I don't know what that exactly means. So,
You're like a news station with all your bad news. 1 of 2 responded. News station? I don't quite know what that is, but I think I get what you mean. I know I don't have a good track record when the first news you heard from me was about my world ending. There are a few things that make this trial seem particularly difficult, this time around. First off, it's going to be held in the Tremble Caves, ellipsis. A known breeding den for basilisks. Basilisks are dangerous creatures with large claws and venomous, lethal bites.
then why would you do that for coppers? Like, what?
If you make eye contact with a basilisk, your movements will be greatly slowed. It's definitely advantageous to look at the ground or shield your eyes if you're unfortunate enough to be facing one. Also, it's basilisk breeding season, so they are going to be more aggressive than ever if they find intruders in their den. At least the objective of the trial is simple: survive and exit the caves.
Okay.
We are going to be put into teams. Since I registered late, I didn't get to choose my team. That's getting me down. I'm in a group with A, ellipsis, Roger Mendenhall, ellipsis, and, ellipsis, some mage who just wrote A, C, for his or her name. Ellipsis. I wish I had a chance to meet my team at least once before we must depend on each other for our very lives. System message, gain at registration they also gave me system message, gain trials amulet.
See, I wish you could activate this before. Because, like, yeah, I don't know.
At registration they also gave me this amulet. I'm not sure what it does.
Because, like, I wish you could, like, somehow, like, give Ash advice on, like, how to activate this. So, like Ash saying, like, how do you know how to activate this? And then you either have, like, I'm not sure, or try using the NX toss spell to bind it to yourself. I don't know. That's just a pointer there, but that's just me.
I don't even know the details of what happens when the trials start. I don't really have time to ask about it. I'm sure they'll explain this all to me tomorrow. It's getting late. It's getting late. Riley has been waiting for me for a long time. And I haven't even met my teammates. I'm definitely paying the price of procrastination. System message, Ash is waiting. Is there still time to meet your teammates? 1 of 2 Do you think Riley will give up if you keep her waiting too long? 2 of 2 responses. Dimmed. Button.
Riley doesn't seem the type to give up.
Is there still time to meet your teammates? 1 of 2 responses. Message. Well, the day isn't over yet, is it? I know I shouldn't keep Riley waiting. Ellipsis. But meeting my teammates before the trials tomorrow would be helpful. The guild sorts living quarters by last name, so I just need to head to Block M and see if Roger's home. A, C, might take longer to find since I don't know his or her full name. Hang on, ellipsis, no way. Chronos just stepped out of Head Guildmaster Crane's office. So he was in there too, when Merrick was being dragged away, ellipsis. System message, Ash is waiting. Find Riley, 1 of 3 responses, button. Try to find your teammates, 2. This is your chance. Talk to Chronos, 3 of 3 responses, button.
Okay, so I feel like he's... If I remember, I think if you do this, then I think... I don't know.
Find Riley, 1 of...
Let's do find Riley, because I don't want to put Ash in a situation, like, right on the spot.
Find Riley, 1 of 3
So,
responses.
yeah.
The idea of talking to her fills me with anticipation and dread at the same time. I don't know why I'm always so nervous when I'm talking to Riley. But it's important I tell her about Jana's. Okay, I'm off to the gardens. Should I use system message? Ash, teleport required. Walk. 2 of 2.
Let's walk.
Walk. 2. Respond. The walk will clear my head. I'm in system message. I'm in desperate need of that. System 39. Use master of time to
Like
use
that.
master of time. Respond. The walk will clear my. I'm in system. I'm at the gardens. I see Riley. She's smiling at me. Okay. Ellipsis. Here goes nothing. Ellipsis. Ellipsis. What? Riley is hugging me. What's going on? She's hugging me so tightly that I can feel her heartbeat. She's hugging me so tightly that I can feel her heartbeat. Riley said, "You're here." I'm in shock. Ellipsis. I guess that's why I'm still blabbering onto you. She seems so shy sometimes. System message. Ash is waiting. Tell her about Jana's 1 of 3 response. Hug her back. 2 of 3 responses. But hug her back. 2 of 3 responses.
I would.
Messages. Responded. Oh boy, I am. Her heart is beating fast. Her embrace feels nice. She's telling me, now that Ezra is free, she must find him and speak to him. Wait, ellipsis, did I hear that correctly? Riley is running away to find the first mage? I'm asking her why. Riley said, when Chronos fought Ezra atop Mount Ashra many years ago, Chronos won by imprisoning Ezra using the power of the Chrono Gem. She said, now that Ezra has been released, he is no doubt itching to finish that fight. She said, I plan on stopping it from happening.
How?
I'm telling her Chronos seems pretty strong. He did just destroy the meteors, I bet he can handle himself. Riley said, in their first battle, they changed Ashra from a beautiful mountain filled with life to the barren volcanic rock it is today.
Oof.
She said, Chronos is even more powerful today. If 2 powerful mages like them were to fight again, think of how many things, how many people, might be caught in the crossfire before a victor was decided. I didn't think about that. Riley said, I'm not sure why he hasn't attacked yet, but with each moment that passes, Ezra could be that much closer to attacking Chronos. I'm asking Riley if we can't just talk to Chronos and get him to avoid Ezra. Riley said, your brother won't be the one who actively seeks the confrontation, but he will fight back if attacked. System message. Ash is waiting. Ask Riley if she's in love with Chronos. 1 of 2 Why is she being so open with you about everything? 2 of 2 responses. Button.
I don't think she's in love with Okay, now I'm curious.
Ask Riley if she's in love with Chronos. 1 of. Ask Riley. Respond. I'm asking Riley what Chronos means to her. It sure seems she's doing a lot for him. She's giving him her blood. And now she's going to speak to Ezra on his behalf. If she's not being manipulated by him, ellipsis. I'm asking Riley if she's, ellipsis, in love with Chronos. Riley is biting her bottom lip. She said, we were good friends in a different time, but everything I do is not only for him. System message. Ash is waiting. Why did she push you off Ion? 1 of 1 responses. Button.
Why is that the only choice you can... Well.
Why did she push you off Ion? 1 of 1 responses. Responded. I'm asking her. I thought she blinked a few times. Does she not remember? Riley said, I see. It's not surprising you share the same gift as your brother. The same gift? Does she mean Chronos can travel through time as well? She said, I don't quite understand how it works. All I mean is you seem to have the ability to manipulate time like he does. I'm explaining to Riley that I don't have that power. Ellipsis, you do. She said, your human friend possesses this power? But how? Ellipsis. System message. Ash is wait. Tell her I'm more powerful than Chronos. 1 of 2 responses. Button. She still hasn't answered why she pushed you off Ion. 2 of 2 responses. Button. Tell her I'm more powerful than
I don't want to push it, so I'll do the first
Tell her
one.
I'm more powerful than Chronos. 1 of 2 responded. I'm telling Riley you saved me countless times. In fact, you might be more powerful than Chronos. Riley said, I'm glad that someone so powerful is your friend. She says she needs to leave as soon as possible. System message. Ash is waiting. Why does Chronos need her blood? 1 of 2 respond. How is she planning to convince Ezra? 2 of 2 responses. Button. Why does Chronos need her blood?
I'm
1 of
actually
2
kind of curious on
responses.
that part.
Why does Chronos need her blood? Responded. I'm asking her why Chronos needs her blood. And what is Riley said? I'm asking her why Chronos needs her blood. And what is that weird pillar that she was chained to? Riley said, Ion used to be the Valdorian royal palace. My blood keeps Ion operational. She said, the pillar I was chained to is the heart of Ion. System message. Ash is waiting. Ion is Valdor's palace. 1 of 2 responses. Tell me more about the pillar. 2 of Ion is Valdor's palace. 1 of 2 responses. Button.
Wait, what?
Ion is Valdor's palace.
Really?
Wow, ellipsis. I'm surprised too. I had no idea that Ion was the Valdorian royal palace. Come to think of it, ellipsis, there was a hole in the ground where I thought the palace would be in the ruins of Voldor. But Ion doesn't look like the Valdorian royal palace, ellipsis, at least what I remember seeing in tomes. If it was the palace, then wouldn't someone have recognized it and questioned Chronos on why he's living in Valdor's palace?
That's what I would ask too.
Riley said, Ion is cloaked by an illusion. Its appearance is completely different from my old home, but the core materials making up Ion are still the same. So Chronos wanted a palace made up of Irelium, ellipsis. Riley nodded. He wanted a palace that requires regular drainage of blood from the last Valdorian, ellipsis. She said, Ash, I know you think I'm crazy for doing this for your brother, but you know, Ion belongs more to him than me. Riley said, Chronos' father, your father, was the one who designed Ion. Chronos then used his magic to solidify all of the Irelium used in the construction of Ion. She said, very few mages possessed enough magical aura to solidify that much Irelium. In fact, it would take about 20 high-level mages years to make that much Irelium. Your brother was truly a prodigy, one that Alencia hadn't seen for a long time since the era of First Mage Ezra. My father designed Ion, ellipsis.
That's interesting.
Come to think of it, ellipsis, I don't know anything about my birth parents. Riley said, Ash, I really have to go. I'm telling Riley I want to go with her. I want to help her save the world. Riley is looking at me earnestly. I'm telling her that she can depend on me. Ash would do anything for a friend. Riley lowered her gaze. She said, you know, ellipsis, I see him in you. Who is she talking about? Riley said, I had hoped you wouldn't become a mage. Riley then looked at me with fierce determination in her eyes. Ash, I promise you that I will do everything in my power to ensure you can be free. Wait, Riley, she's phasing out. I'm telling her the griffin egg sandwich would be better if she used a bit more salt and rosemary. But I'm happy she shared it with me. Riley said, more salt and rosemary. Got it? She said, I can't wait to cook for you again, Ash. What? Wait, ellipsis. No, Riley. Ellipsis. Darn, she teleported away. I tried to grab for her, but she already phased out. She said one last thing, ellipsis. She said, don't hate Chronos. I'm glad I managed to catch her today. I don't think she would have waited for me long. She seemed to want to leave urgently. I don't understand, ellipsis, what did she mean by all the things she said? She seems to hold Chronos in high regard. I'm sorry, ellipsis, I need some time to think about what she said. System message, Ash is busy. 18 minutes, 8 top menu back, chapters, chapter 6, system, I'm back in my room. I don't even know how I got here. After that conversation with Riley, ellipsis, I just kept walking and walking. Everything around me was just a blur, ellipsis. She teleported away so quickly. I feel like there are so many things I didn't get to ask her. Like why she didn't tell me about what she was doing in Lyle with my folks long ago. Why are you such a mystery, Riley? Ah, ellipsis, my eyes are droopy, ellipsis, my bones are aching, ellipsis, my entire body is telling me I need to sleep, ellipsis. But I can't. Do you have trouble sleeping too?
Yes, I do.
System yes, it's hard to fall asleep sometimes. Yes, it's hard to fall asleep sometimes. One of two responses. Dimmed. Responded, yes. Both you and me, the same, ellipsis. I find it especially hard to sleep when I have a lot of thoughts on my mind.
And now I'm kind of stuck around my headphone cord. Hold on, guys.
I don't know if it's because of lack of sleep or just lack of good ideas.
There we go.
System message. My mind is active, but all the thoughts are. I'm trying to think of what I. If their first fight, and there's going to be.
See, where was
but
it?
Riley is. I know I should. Right now, I find it especially. Both you and me. I find it especially hard to sleep when I have a lot of thoughts on my mind. Right now, my mind is racing. I know I should sleep because the trials are tomorrow. But Riley is gone. And there's going to be some impending battle between Chronos and First Mage Ezra that has the potential of devastating Alencia. If their first fight resulted in the meteors, what would the next stage be? I'm trying to think of what I can do. My mind is active, but all the thoughts are muddled. I don't know if it's because of lack of sleep or just lack of good ideas. System message. You can talk to Chronos. 1 of 2 you could figure out a way to find Ezra. 2 of 2 responses. Button.
I would do the first one because Ezra, I don't know, he's...
You can talk to Chronos. You can talk to Chronos. 1 of 2 responded. You can talk. Hey, if it can help Riley, I'm willing to give anything a try. I do have a family card with Chronos, so maybe I actually have a better chance than most to reach him. Ellipsis. Maybe. Ellipsis. If only I could reach into the human world and hug you. You totally made me feel less useless with that suggestion. Hopefully I can finish the trials quickly and then I'll go find Chronos. Then I'll convince Chronos to stop doing whatever it is he's doing that's making Ezra mad. I have a way with the words after all.
Do you now?
Phew, ellipsis. I feel calmer now that I have a plan in place. Can I continue to talk to you, ellipsis, or do can I continue
Whoops.
to talk to you, ellipsis, or do you think I should sleep? We can keep talking. One of two responses. Button.
I would say we can continue talking
We
because
can keep talking. One of
yeah.
respond. Thank you, ellipsis. Before I got us mixed into all of this saving Alencia business, I wanted to contact the human world just to learn more about my heritage. There are all sorts of legends. I've heard that there are golden arches in your world that are a gateway to food. Do you know what I'm talking about? System message. Ash is waiting. Are you talking about McDonald's? One of two responses.
That's what I
Mute.
would think.
Button. Are you talking about McDonald's? One of two responses. Responded. Yep, that's it. I remember that story because you can pass through these golden arches for quick eats. Instantaneous food sounds like magic. Too bad one of these arches never made it to Alencia. There are still human relics scattered throughout Alencia though. Humans and their descendants hid away things from your world before the Search and Destroy All Things Human campaign began in Alencia. Magic was even used to keep larger things hidden. There could even be cities filled with things from your world that remain shrouded by magic. I would love to discover something like that, but I can't just go around broadcasting I want to find one. People here would get suspicious of me for sure.
That's probably true.
But I do believe they exist. I'm living proof that not all things from the human world are gone from here. Anyways, I'm really interested in the device you're using to communicate with me. Can you tell me more about it?
I'm using an iPhone, or in this case, it would be a phone because, yeah, it does not. I don't even. I have a tablet, but it's an iPad. But the iPad is over there charging / updating.
System. I'm using a tablet called the iPad. One of three. I'm using a phone. Two of. I'm using a watch. Three. I'm using a phone. I'm using a phone. Two of three responses. Responded. I'm using a phone. A phone? I haven't heard that term before. Whatever this phone is, I'm glad you have it. I wonder if I'll ever cross paths with the phone in Alencia.
You might.
If I do, I'm sure you'll be the first to recognize what it is. If we happen to run into one of the remaining human relics on Alencia, your knowledge of them would be invaluable. I was just a baby when Valder was destroyed and Alencians started the movement to eliminate all things human-related from this world. Then the Masters' Council reconvened, and worked to rule Alencia in the hopes to bring it to stability. But Chronos sat on that council as the Master of Time. Which means, ellipsis. System message. Ash. He stood by as humans got killed. Stop thinking dark thoughts. Two of
That's
two
what I would
responses.
say.
Button.
Stop thinking dark thoughts.
Stop thinking dark thoughts. Messages. Heading. Image. Responded. I couldn't help it. I wonder if Chronos just stood there coldly as the order came down to massacre all those innocent lives. If he did possess a heart, he surely didn't show it today when all that injustice happened to Merrick. Anyways, what do you think Riley meant when she said, "Don't hate Chronos"?
I don't know.
I don't get why she keeps on defending him, especially when he's draining her blood. Maybe he put her under a spell, ellipsis. Riley doesn't seem like the type that naturally gets along with Chronos. Oh darn, ellipsis. I guess it's harder than I thought to stop thinking about my conversation with Riley. System message. Ash is waiting. Stop worrying about things you can't control. One of two. You need to clear your mind for the trials tomorrow. Two of two responses. Button. Stop worrying about things you can't control. One of two responses. Button.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to
Stop
just.
worrying.
Kind of
Responded.
hard.
I just hate to think that Chronos might be taking advantage of her. But you're right. I need to focus on things I can do something about. Saying it out loud makes me realize what sound advice you just gave, but, ellipsis. It's definitely easier said than done. Like when someone tells you don't jump into the pit of spiders and you know it's not a good idea, but a part of you wants to jump in. System message. No, I've never wanted to jump into a pit of spiders. One of two responses. Button. Yeah, this is just like that. Two of two responses. Button. No, I've never wanted to
No,
jump
I
into-
never
no,
had.
I've
I never wanted
jump into a
to.
pit of spiders. Respond. It's a bad analogy, I know. I suck at analogies. Sorry, ellipsis. I had a long yawn. Guess the long, tiring day's starting to hit me. Boy, ellipsis. My mind is hazy and my eyelids are drooping. Ellipsis. But let's see. Boy,
Oops.
ellipsis. My mind is hazy and my eyelids are drooping. Ellipsis. But I'm not going to sleep. Let's see. Ellipsis. I never told you this. Ellipsis. But when I was a kid, I was quite an annoying brat. I may not sound so bratty right now, but 8-year-old me was definitely a brat. I love to brag. I thought I was better than everybody else and I wouldn't listen to anyone who said otherwise. There was a decrepit mine outside of Lyle. The miners had long abandoned the mine because the earth surrounding it was too weak, and many had lost their lives to the frequent cave-ins. My parents warned me to stay away. It was dangerous and too easy to get lost. But the mine was rumored to still hold many precious gems and treasures, since it was abandoned before all the treasures were farmed.
Yeah, I can kind of picture that. Ash wanted to explore a lot, and like even her parents, even Ash's parents saying, "Don't go there," and Ash still went there.
So one day, I filled a lamp with oil, bought some food rations, and went in looking to score it rich. As I explored the musky, damp tunnels, I noticed little vibrations coming up through the floor and tickling my toes. The vibrations became a large rumble, and suddenly the ceiling came down behind me, blocking the path I came from. No problem. I didn't panic. I thought I could get out easily, so I continued to explore. But soon I ran out of oil to keep the lamp burning. It was cold, and all I could do in complete darkness was feel the sides of the walls and try to move forward. Maybe it was backwards? I lost my sense of direction at that point. It must have been a few hours of walking in the darkness when the burning dryness in my throat couldn't be ignored. I tried to lick the condensation on the walls for water. It was looking dim for me until I saw a light, a warm fire. The fire was sprouting out of a man's hand. My parents must have filed an urgent request with a nearby guild, and they sent a mage to look for me. You thought I would be happy to see this mage, right? Nope, I was a brat, remember? My pride was severely wounded. I had gotten myself into this mess, and I was going to get myself out of it myself.
Sure. Sure. Sorry, guys, I'm also messing with something at the same time.
I ran away from him. And I kept running in the darkness, away from his light, until I felt my movements hindered by something sticky and wet. Then I heard a sizzling sound.
Uh-oh.
It was the acid dripping from the fangs of a mine spider. I had just gotten caught in its web. Mine spiders like to spit acid onto their victims until they are partially dissolved before consuming them.
That just sounds so... I don't know what the word is here, but just... That just sounds so... Weird.
I pictured what was going to happen to me in graphic detail. I waited for the spider to roast my flesh with acid and deal my gruesome end. There was no way the mage would have continued looking for me after how I behaved. But I was wrong. Boy, was I glad I was wrong. The mage jumped in between me and the spider. He lit the spider on fire with magic and broke me free from the web. I heard a terrible hissing sound coming from the spider as the mage took my hand in his, and we raced out of the cave together. We were both panting when we got outside. It wasn't until we were in broad daylight that I noticed the mage's chest was bare and parts of his body had been badly scarred. He must have taken off his shirt to prevent further damage from the acid-soaked cloth. My mind was forever scarred too, with the image of the damaged skin covering the mage's neck and shoulders. He had jumped in between me and the spider to block its acid attack from hitting me. I was silent as he took some ointment from his pouch and applied it to his wounds. I thought he would be angry with me, ellipsis. I mean, who wouldn't be after getting hurt from saving some dumb brat? But instead he just smiled and tossed a gold coin at me. He had found it in a mine and told me I was right. There was probably really good treasure hidden in there. Then he said, magic is about taking risks, kid. Take risks. Grow strong so that one day, you can help others. I didn't get to find out his name that day. The mage with brilliant red hair as passionate as the flames who used to save me. I was too ashamed to ask. It wasn't until years later that I saw the same scars on the neck of Ignis, the Master of Fire. The Master of Fire, with a head of fiery, red hair, who passionately believed he could use magic to greatly better Valencia and all its people, ellipsis. I saw his picture in the papers when they reported on his disappearance after his sister, Scarlet, died. People remember him as a deserter, a lunatic now, ellipsis. But I'll always remember him as the Ignis who saved my life. And, when he should have threatened me with fear, he gave me hope. I regret not being able to do something for him during his darkest hours, to help Master Ignis like he helped me. That's an embarrassing story for me, ellipsis. Haha, ellipsis. I haven't spoken about it to anyone, but you, ellipsis.
I mean, I can't blame you for that. That was a... If that was not a situation, I probably would be kind of nervous to share that because, like, you know, you're just in that situation where, like, the way you acted and stuff.
But that's why I wanted to become a mage and join a guild, ellipsis.
You know, I've always been curious what, and if Ash would ever become a master, what Ash's rank would be. Like, would Ash have Master of Time? Master of, I don't know. There's probably a bunch of, like, different master of stuff. Probably a lot of stuff that we don't even know yet.
MHMMM, ellipsis, I want, ellipsis, to help, ellipsis, stupid, ellipsis, hopeful, ellipsis, brats, ellipsis, like me, ellipsis. System message, Ash is asleep. 4 hours, 24 minutes, use master of time to skip.
And we'll skip.
Use master of time to skip busy timer for free. Message, 140, system message.
Hi,
Receive the following
hi.
100, 880, the current year, chapter 6. This is how it happens. He tried, the man wouldn't. That is until I know. He didn't want any. There once was system message. Received the following message written in handwritten red text. There once was a good man who lived in a house alone. He didn't want any visitors, so he kept his doors locked. That is until I knocked and knocked. The man wouldn't see me at first. He tried to resist the inevitable thirst. This is how it happens. I've seen it so many times. First comes curiosity, second comes desire. Third comes an itch that is most dire. For even a good man like him couldn't resist seeing more. So he opened his eyes and unlocked the door. System message, 1 minute, use master of time to skip.
I'm skipping that because...
Memory, okay.
Yep,
button.
I know.
Chapter 7.
And that is chapter 6 of TimeCrest. And we will continue in chapter 7. So that's it for today's video. If you guys have any more questions, please put them down in the comments below, or you may send them to info@TheTechPianoPlayerKid.com. You can also give me a text at 913-312-1325, and if you do not live in the United States, you can text me through WhatsApp and give me a call there as well. I also have a toll-free number that you can use to give me a call at 877-318-8775. Please also follow me and like my Facebook page, The Tech Piano Player Kid, and follow me on Twitter, tech_piano. And you can also join my discussion forum on my website where you can ask questions about technology and help to answer questions about technology for the blind and stuff like this by going to TheTechPianoPlayerKid.com and clicking on the discussion board page underneath the navigation bar menu where you can register for a free account and help to answer questions and ask questions if need to be. Please make sure that you get permission from your parents if you still need to do so before making an account, just to make sure that you're on the safe side and that you don't want to get in trouble because we don't want that to happen. And you can also subscribe to my monthly newsletter if you wish by going to my website, TheTechPianoPlayerKid.com. Again, if need to be, get permission from your parents just to be on the safe side. And you can unsubscribe at any time if you wish, and you have any trouble with unsubscribing or creating an account or deleting your account, please let me know, and I will do my best to help you out. Anyway, that's it for today's video. God bless you all, and peace. The Tech Piano Player Kid is out. Thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications and leave a comment down below. For questions, please send an email to info@TheTechPianoPlayerKid.com. You can also give a call or text at 913-312-1325. And don't forget to like my Facebook page, The Tech Piano Player Kid, and follow me on Twitter, tech_piano. Black background with white text that reads The Tech Piano Player Kid displays on the screen with the same text written to the right in Braille, then fades to black.